Welcome to the new TMZ Live, where we bring you inside our newsroom as our staff chases down today's stories in real time.
Welcome to TMZ Live. Brooke Hogan has now lobbed a grenade involving the death of her dad, Hulk Hogan.
A death that she sees as very suspicious.
She is saying that there are all sorts of markers that make her wonder, was this really a natural death? Did he die of a heart attack?
Yes, so Brooke dropped all this information this morning when she went on the radio program hosted by Bubba the Love Sponge, who very famously or infamously was very good friends with Hulk for years. And then obviously had a falling out after the sex tape leak, which involved Hulk and Bubba's wife.
Right.
Brooke talked to Bubba about that, but before we get to that part, the really big thing is what she is curious about.
And not just what she says, but what Bubba says. We're doing a documentary on Hulk for the network that's going to air a week from tonight, and I did not know that Hulk, according to Bubba, had had heart surgery in the hospital just before he died. But this is what they talked about, and this is why Brooke is suspicious.
I do think it's weird that no autopsy was performed because, yes, you can have a heart attack, but what was the reason for the heart attack is the question. Because if he was up and doing breathing exercises and stuff, that means that the surgery on his heart was a success and it was working. For me, the no autopsy and the leukemia out of nowhere hits me as BS, because...
You never heard that diagnosis before?
She never.
No. And I would be surprised that a surgeon would work on somebody with leukemia or somebody that would see a high white blood cell count and not do further investigation first.
This is really, really kabuki. But Dan, if you're ported up to do dialysis, like you mentioned yesterday, I mean, anybody can stick anything in that port. And you said there's 50 things that somebody could stick in there to kill you.
Yeah,
and I'm not.
Don't even get me going. Don't even get me going. I told my dad. I said, you need to put cameras in your house because I said if you're dating one of these, biatches could push you down the stairs and, nobody would ever know. So I was the one that told him to put cameras in his house.
Well, look, we do not have any evidence that we've heard to support that. I mean, she's suggesting that somebody may have literally taken.
Well, Bubba suggested that. That was that was Bubba suggesting that. But she said, don't even get me started. So clearly it's something she's
then she's co-signing and she's saying, I told him, I warned him, just watch out who you're around. They could push you down the stairs.
She absolutely co-signed that.
What?
I agree. She absolutely co-signed that. But there's nothing to suggest at all that there's anything
we haven't seen
nefarious
anything,
here.
but
nothing. I mean, it's a wild conspiracy theory at this point.
This was so much deeper than I thought. I mean, Brooke has said she took herself out of the will.
Yes.
Voluntarily.
Yeah. No, just to hear, and he starts crying at the end of the interview. Bubba literally starts crying. The fact that they reconnected. I talked to a legendary wrestler the day Hulk died, and he blamed Bubba for Hulk's death. That the stress, everything with the tape and Gawker, that stressed Hulk so much that it actually ultimately took his life. And to hear this really warm conversation between Hulk and
Brooke said was, and I hadn't heard this before, and it seems, and that's why Bubba was crying. I don't think he knew this, but Brooke said, I spoke to my father before he died. He told me that he did not believe you were the person who leaked that sex tape, because Hulk and Bubba were not friends after that.
But apparently Hulk did not believe it was Bubba.
Right.
If Hulk didn't believe it was Bubba, then the idea that wrestler says Hulk is that Bubba's responsible doesn't really make sense.
No, not at all.
Right, doesn't make sense. But that wrestler probably didn't know what Brooke revealed.
Right. You would think he would. He's somebody who had a close relationship with Hulk Hogan.
There was a lot of conflict in that family. I mean, I knew there was some, but when you listen to her, it runs deep.
Yeah. By the way, it goes beyond. I mean, she's saying. What did she say about Hulk's wife? Right? She said that.
She
likes her now. They get along.
Right.
But she also sounds very suspicious about.
Right, she pointed to her religious beliefs, that she was a Scientologist.
And that's why Brooke removed herself from the will.
And the final thing where she said, I never believed the leukemia diagnosis.
Yes.
I'm confused about that because, you know, she said it just doesn't come out of nowhere. Well, yes, it does.
I mean, she's saying
the
that
diagnosis can.
But she's saying he had had so many surgeries.
Which
why wouldn't they have noticed a change in his white blood cell count? Why wouldn't doctors have noticed it before? Now, you're right, because it just
at a point it happened.
Starts at some point.
Right. Yeah, she was saying that they would have never had him gone through surgery if he had leukemia because his body wasn't equipped to handle it.
But she said she hadn't talked to him in 2 years, so it's possible that that happened within the last 2 years.
But yet she seems to have a handle, or she thinks, on exactly what happened during the last 2 years.
Right. Yeah. You know how come? Sure. Because she revealed that her husband had been talking to Hulk, actually behind her back. Husband was trying to repair the relationship between Hulk and Brooke.
Hey, this is Buck out here in Nashville. This story is kind of shocking me right now. I know it's breaking right now, and the more evidence comes in that this might look like we're going to have to investigate this a lot more. Just because there's no evidence now doesn't mean we shouldn't look into it, because this is sounding kind of shady to me. And if she's been around the situation a long time, so she knows more. I think we better follow this story a little bit closer.
Yeah, I mean, look, we cannot speak to it because we have no direct knowledge of anything she's saying. We do know that paramedics came out to the house and they said it was a heart attack and he died at the hospital, was pronounced dead at the hospital. Beyond that, we don't know.
Well, President Trump has a new target in the media, and it is Gayle King.
He has got a lot of people in the firing line.
Right on the heels of Stephen Colbert and his show being canceled and Trump saying he deserved it. And then there's no talent.
Don't forget Oprah Winfrey, Bruce Springsteen, Taylor Swift. All sorts of people. And Charlemagne.
This is what he said, somewhat out of, well, actually, I know why he said it, but this is what he said late last night about Gayle King. He said, her career is over. She should have stayed with her belief in Trump. By the way, in his post, he had Trump in all caps. She never had the courage to do so. No talent, no ratings, no strength.
So what he's saying is, if you would support me, you would be successful. By not doing so, you're a failure.
This comes, there was a report yesterday that CBS is considering firing Gayle because the ratings are so low on CBS this morning.
And it's relevant because CBS is owned by Paramount. Remember, Paramount is the one that
Skydance
just closed the deal, which required federal approval. And Stephen Colbert, maybe not coincidentally, got fired by CBS. Actually, they canceled the whole show.
Yes.
And Donald Trump, they say, is behind it.
If you're Gayle King, are you not terrified right now? Because when Donald Trump, I mean, granted, her ratings are low. There was talk about this. When Donald Trump wants to get somebody fired or wants to get a university to pay hundreds of millions of dollars, whatever he wants, he seems to get now. Law firms to pay millions of dollars. He seems to get what he wants. He puts that kind of pressure on these large corporations, and they do his bidding. That's
so
what
we got Gayle. We got Gayle today coming out of CBS.
We were on the spot as she was leaving CBS this morning. This is what she had to say about the president going after her.
Ms. King, what was your reaction to seeing what Trump said last night?
Well, I'm sorry he feels that way. I'm just going to do it. I like my job, continue to do a good job. There's a long list of people. Look, I'm in a group now with Bruce Springsteen, Taylor Swift, Stephen Colbert. I'm sorry he feels that way.
I gotta tell you, that
is so interesting.
I felt sorry for Gayle there. She sounds like, I'm not saying she sounds scared, but she certainly is acknowledging that there's something serious here.
The fact that she said, I like my job, is almost saying, I please don't do this to me. Although,
I mean, and maybe it's not him. Look, you're right. Yes, when Trump says
it is him. No,
things happen.
It is him.
Is it him, or does he just know something and now he's getting out in front of it so it will look like?
Yeah, you could say that. Is it him with the law firms?
Yes.
Is it him with the universities?
Yes.
Did he try and make it seem like he got Stephen Colbert fired?
He did make it seem like that, and maybe he did. But to your point, that when Stephen Colbert, when they canceled his show, the deal with Skydance wasn't approved yet. The deal has now been approved, so...
But he still has power.
So much leverage.
He still has leverage.
He's an existential threat to these companies. If he turns against them and start what he's doing with banks right now, he's saying, if I find that banks, in my unilateral belief, are disadvantaging conservatives, I'm going to tear down the banks.
I just figured it out. Ellison owns Skydance, right?
Larry Ellison.
The son.
The son.
Yes.
Okay. Ellison owns. I just read a story today that Ellison is now looking to buy Warner Brothers.
Okay.
Now, I don't know if it's true or not, but I read the story today. If he wants to buy Warner Brothers, it goes back to the feds.
DOJ approval.
And so it all leads back to Trump.
There's your leverage. Poor Gail.
Hey guys, Jared Zisser, San Diego. Look, I agree with you on a lot of what you're saying. Going back to Gayle King, it's not surprising that he's attacking her. He has, a long history of attacking strong journalists and media, but I mean, let's be real. This is more about control than it is about Gayle. Gayle's not going to go anywhere. And if anything, Gayle King, I mean, we all know her as a very respected journalist in media. And this is not necessarily a reason to get her fired. This is a reason to give her a raise. The fact that he doesn't like her because she doesn't play softball, I think that gives her more power.
I got to tell you, I have that watch.
Oh, my God.
I have that watch with that watch band.
Do you really?
I do.
I love this watch.
I just feel bad for Gail.
I do too.
Usually when he says things like this, the reaction from people is like, oh, that's just Trump being Trump.
Now they know.
She did not react that way at all.
Right.
Coming up.
Well, a 27-year-old mystery one family is hoping maybe getting a little bit closer to being solved. There is a documentary out right now on Netflix called Amy Bradley is Missing. So sorry, obviously, for the loss your family's been dealing with for so long now, but is there some renewed hope since the documentary and all these tips that you're getting?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, obviously, since day one, we've never run out of hope.
Be right back.
Well, a 27-year-old mystery, one family is hoping maybe getting a little bit closer to being solved. There is a documentary out right now on Netflix called Amy Bradley is Missing. And you may, if you are of a certain age, remember this case. It was back in 1998 when Amy and her family, her brother, her mother, and father were all on a cruise through the Caribbean. And as they were pulling into port in Curacao, on the island of Curacao, early in the morning, she went missing. Her father remembers seeing her on the deck of their room, of their cabin, at about 5:30 in the morning, and by 6 a.m., she had vanished.
So a lot of people thought she must have either fallen overboard, jumped overboard, but it's not that simple.
No,
it is not that simple.
There are, there are hints here of perhaps that she was taken off the cruise, that there could be sex trafficking that has been happening with her.
There are photographs have surfaced all over, and as a matter of fact,
the FBI has analyzed some of these photos
and said, we believe this is her.
Right.
And so, where is Amy, is the question.
Exactly. And since this documentary was aired, now Amy's family is being inundated with tips. Some of them, they're hoping, obviously, will lead to some answers for them. So joining us right now to talk about that is Amy's brother, Brad Bradley. Brad, welcome to TMZ Live. So sorry, obviously, for the loss your family's been dealing with for so long now, but is there some renewed hope since the documentary and all these tips that you're getting?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, obviously, since day one, we've never run out of hope. A lot of people don't understand that and can't relate, but certainly, Netflix brought this back alive. I mean, there's been a lot of years. The case has been, stagnant here and there for years at a time, and little things happen, and obviously nothing has ultimately come from them. But, the renewal and the revitalization of her story and her name to people from all over the world is definitely brought, countless leads. There's been thousands of, emails and phone calls that we've gotten that we're going through one at a time, and we're putting the prayers and the well wishes, to the side. And obviously, very much appreciated. But there are certain leads that we've gotten that we need to follow up on that we can't rule out without looking into it. So there's some things going on right now that I can't share, just so as not to compromise the integrity of the investigation or what's happening. But certainly, this is the first time ever, I think, the whole world's paying attention.
You just said you can't talk about certain things because it might compromise the investigation. Who is investigating?
We have a private investigator by the name of Jim Carrey.
And so there's not like a government investigation?
The FBI is no longer. I know the FBI.
They were.
Yeah, well, the case is, open per the FBI, but in my opinion, they've been sitting on their hands for a long time.
I don't want to be insensitive, but she was on a family cruise with you, and then all of a sudden she disappears. In 27 years, the notion that she couldn't find access to a phone, that must go through your head, that if she were alive, you've had absolutely no contact in 27 years.
That is a question that's been raised, many times over the years, and we don't have an answer for it. I'm sure that if she's still alive and still out there, there's a reason, and it's because she doesn't want to talk to us or want to be found. So I don't know how to answer that question, but yeah, obviously we've thought about it, and it's been brought up a number of times.
Right. So, Brad, you said that there are things you can't speak about. I'm not going to press you for that detail, but it does sound like you have at least one promising lead that you and your private investigator are working on. Is that something that you received, information you received since the documentary? And did it come from someone who saw the documentary?
I don't know. It's a little bit of both. It's stuff that we've had information on for a long time, coupled with some information that's come in, and I can't honestly tell you who or where it came from. Our investigative team is first point of contact for the emails, and we don't want to have all of us looking in, and we don't know which ones have been checked and all that kind of stuff. So I personally, I've checked a few. The banner will come up on my phone, and out of curiosity, I'll click on them, and then I'll kind of mark it again as unread. But I can't tell you, not because I can't tell you. I just know where the information came from. Right.
She, when she vanished, you guys were the cruise was off Curacao, in the Caribbean. Is the latest information still in that area, or has it gone to a different part of the Caribbean?
I think it is. We have information from several different islands, and so, I think what's important for people to understand is that the time frame that Amy disappeared, at some point between 5:30 and 6 a.m., the boat was already at. In no way were we miles offshore or anything even close to it. We've spoken to the harbor pilot who, hooked up that boat that morning to the tug to pull it through the canal. And that process takes anywhere from 60 to 90 minutes. When my dad was up on the walking deck searching around 6:30 a.m., he ran into one of his coworkers, and the boat is already sitting still. So I wish people would understand it's not a situation where she disappeared while we were at sea. So there's been some information that's come out of Curacao. Obviously, we have some information out of Barbados, and there's a couple other things that I've been asked not to speak on.
So finally, I was thinking about this. How do you kind of compartmentalize this in your life and your family's life, that you may never get an answer to this, and you may not know if she survived or not, and you may just have to live with that for the rest of your life? That's a really difficult thing. How are you managing that?
Well, I mean, I was 21 at the time, and I've been living with that exact thing for more than half my life. Unfortunately, we're used to it, and I don't know what's worse. You know, if we were to receive some news that gave us closure and finality, or not knowing and still being able to hope. I think what keeps us going is the hope and the feeling. You know, I've shared on a lot of different interviews I've done lately that my parents and I have always shared this kind of unexplained gut feeling that she's still alive, and I don't, I can't make sense of that for people. But we live with hope, and we've never stopped. Never will unless we have a reason to. So it is my life. I mean, it's not something I can compartmentalize. When I go to work, I think about it, and when I go home, I think about it. When I go to bed, I can't fall asleep because of it. Especially it's been amplified since this whole thing started a couple weeks ago after the Netflix series aired. But it's not something that is compartmentalized. It just is our life. Here we.
Wow.
Well, obviously, we're going to stay on top of this, and we hope that something pans out for you, because obviously your family has been going through it. That was very clear in the documentary, and I can hear it in your voice. So thank you so much.
Thank you,
Brad, for joining us.
Appreciate it.
And thank you.
Coming up.
Teddi Mellencamp has been battling cancer and has been pretty open about her treatment and what she's going through. She was on a podcast this morning where she talked about why this might have happened to her. And I know her reasoning is kind of, I don't know, it's ominous.
Be right back.
TMZ's got every freaking thing. Big celebs, big stories, big events.
BB Rexa was looking hot on vacation.
Look at the water, too. Did you just say look at the water?
I mean, I'll be honest, that is what I was looking at. Teddi Mellencamp has a theory, or at least something that she is pondering about her cancer diagnosis. This is kind of dark, but you know, of course, that the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star has been battling cancer and has been pretty open about her treatment and what she's going through. She was on a podcast this morning where she talked about why this might have happened to her. And I know cancer patients always sometimes go through this, where they're just wondering, why me? Her reasoning, or at least what she thinks it might be, is kind of, I don't know, it's ominous. And it's clear she's
It's ominous. You know
going
what?
through stuff.
I'm going to hold my tongue. Brendan, do you have it? Yeah. Let's play this.
The horse trainer.
Yeah, I've never talked about it at all, just because of the kids. Did I do things that hurt other people? Yes. To this day, does it still hurt my heart? And I wonder if that's why I got cancer? Yes. Like it was my payback.
So
look, she doesn't say it. Look, people who watch Real Housewives know that there was an alleged affair that was alleged that she had an affair
with the horse.
Is that what she's saying?
Trainer.
I mean, she's clearly, obviously alluding to it, but she doesn't directly say.
The reason
I
I
had
think
an affair.
the reason I think it, because she said, I've never spoken about this because of the kids. To me, that seems like she is referring to that what we had said was an alleged affair, but this sounds like her saying something happened.
This is even tough to talk about because, look, she's going through it and she's obviously really upset and she has a right to feel the way she feels. But this concept of you get
retribution
sick from karma, I mean, there's no basis for it. It's not why people get sick.
But you understand that some people feel that way.
I know people feel
because of their religious beliefs, right?
It all goes back to religion. It all goes back to religion. And look, I grew up, in a somewhat religious family, and I'll tell you, the older I got, the more as I questioned things, I just started thinking, what is this? You know, and it's like people need a belief in something, but at a point, if the belief is rooted in fear, which a lot of religion is, you know, I'm not going to get started, but I have just questioned the whole foundation of a lot of this stuff, and I know that a lot of people say, "Oh my God, that's sacrilegious. You're a heretic," and everything else. Well, maybe I am, but you know, I just over the years,
I mean,
it's like to be rooted in that kind of fear is no way to live.
If the guilt was just about what's happened with her family, that I get. But to think that you have got cancer because of it.
I mean, if you're I would be offended if I had cancer and someone's, I don't know, it's a little to say, oh,
you got it because.
Yeah, I mean, it just feels a little bit insensitive. I know she's an actual
patient. If she got it because, exactly, you take it to the next logical.
It's a disease that millions of people suffer
If she got
from.
it because she did something bad, so now does every cancer patient have
They
to go
start
like,
thinking, oh, well, if she's right, what did I do?
Yeah.
And it does. It goes right back to religion. And I will stop there.
I'm Ashley from Las Vegas, and my heart breaks for Teddi. She has the stress of dealing with stage 4 cancer and young children. So to hold the weight of guilt from whatever form it comes from is more that she should be dealing with. She should be focused on her children, mostly her health, co-parenting with Edwin.
But what it does is it diverts away from that because then you start beating yourself up rather than doing what you just said. So, I'll tell you, religion can do a lot of damage. That's all I'm going to say.
Enough said.
Coming up.
Hell hath no fury like a cop who didn't get laid. She posted a photo of herself in uniform, apparently sitting in her patrol car, and said
didn't get cracked last night, so everyone is getting a ticket.
It's funny. And she is.
You know who it's not funny to? Her bosses.
Be right back.
Welcome back to TMZ Live. Hell hath no fury like a cop who didn't get laid.
True statement.
Apparently.
Yeah, there was a cop who is on the hot seat right now because she dared to go on TikTok and very
that's
attractive.
The first problem. Why is my first issue with this is why is this police officer on TikTok?
Why shouldn't she be?
Why
shouldn't she be?
Officer Devin, what's her last name?
Are you saying?
Officer Escalera.
So she decides to rant that she didn't get, she didn't call it laid. She said she didn't get cracked.
She posted a photo of herself in uniform, apparently sitting in her patrol car, and said, I'll let Devin do the honors because.
Yeah, well, the video too. She said didn't get cracked last night, so everyone is getting a ticket. And
cracked.
And she takes out her pen and is.
It's
have you ever even heard of crack?
Cracked.
I've heard of a lot of things, never crack.
Have you?
Is slang
Gen
for
Z
having
slang
sex.
for yeah.
Oh, that's
okay.
why.
Well, okay. It's funny.
Crush too.
And she
you know who it's not funny to? Her bosses.
She didn't give any tickets.
I know,
it
but
was a joke.
We don't want our law enforcement
God,
doing
stop
social media while on the
clutching
job.
your pearls. There are cops who get out of their
pearls.
The cops get out of their cars and they will dance with kids. They will do all sorts of things that are fun.
What, nice things in the community?
Okay.
No, which is
Don't
great.
Compare, you're comparing her. She's about not having sex to a cop who's going to help some kids.
She was making
That's
a
not
joke.
the same thing. I don't want anyone conflating these
Well,
things.
I do.
A cop who gets out and posts something where they're helping some kids, that helps the community. That builds community between citizens and the officers.
You know what
There's
she
a
did?
point in
You know
that.
what she did?
This isn't building trust. This is the opposite of building trust.
This woman puts smiles on the faces of every Houstonian.
Of her 6,000 followers?
We're talking about it now.
Yeah, she's probably got a lot
We're
more
talking
now.
about it now.
Yeah,
I'll bet
she's
her
going
followers
to end
have
up
gone
not
up.
being a cop.
No.
She's going to parlay this into something else.
She's going to go
100%.
be in like a TikTok house
She's
or
being
something.
investigated, but we.
Yeah, she didn't even write a ticket.
Yeah.
She didn't write a single ticket.
Not one
That
ticket.
day.
She didn't
that
write
day.
it. So she didn't write a ticket.
I will say
she was joking.
in
It
her
was
defense,
a joke.
She probably would not have posted this if she had written a ticket. So yes, I get your point that it's a joke.
Why are they investigating her? Why are they
have to look
investigating
into if she actually ticketed
give me
people.
the public. We know she didn't.
If she
But now
ticketed
we
me
know
on that day, I'd be pissed off.
We
Hold
know
on.
she didn't
Harvey,
give anybody
we know
a
that
ticket.
now, but the people who were reading that saw that on her TikTok didn't know
So
that
why
she
is
didn't
she
write
still
any
under
tickets?
investigation? Why is she still under investigation?
This is routine
They have
police
to investigate.
protocol.
That's ridiculous.
It's routine. I mean,
When I was a local reporter, I was doing stories on cops who were beating their wives and girlfriends, and they got away with it. And this woman tells a joke and makes people laugh. Now she's under investigation.
Is it cool if she was like, "Oh, I didn't get laid last time. I'm gonna shoot someone"? Would you be cool with that?
No. No, because no,
She's making
because you see the difference between shooting and writing a ticket.
It's
You
a
see
part of
the
their
It's still a joke. She didn't
Yeah,
actually
I
shoot
understand
anyone.
that. You don't see the difference between
She
the
didn't
two.
actually
Do you see the difference between the two?
No, it's all a joke. If she didn't shoot someone, if she didn't,
you don't joke
didn't
about
write a
violence.
ticket.
You don't joke about that kind of violence. That's
Well,
funny.
how much do tickets cost?
And she's really attractive.
Yeah.
That's
I mean, there's that.
I knew we could agree on something.
Yeah, well, you know what? It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
What's up, guys? I'm Patrick from Los Angeles. Look, a group of cops who didn't get cracked loose on the city is an Avengers level threat. Okay.
Oh God.
Depending on what you look like, that is a huge deal. Okay. So maybe do the investigation just to be safe. All right. But
No.
Yeah, a lot of people.
No.
Everybody's internal affairs suddenly. Oh, I'll do the investigation. I'll do the investigation.
Boy, it gives internal affairs a whole new meaning.
Oh boy. Kanye West's wife, Bianca Sensori, one of the more photographed people in Hollywood now. Actually, around the world, everywhere they go,
she is
photographers.
She is an attraction.
Yes.
Wearing little to nothing.
Wearing little to nothing, just like Kanye likes it. And he has certainly done a lot to shape her image. Here's the problem. Her image didn't need any shaping.
So we got these pictures. This is her in 2021, 2 years before they hooked up. And look at her.
Check these out. I mean, what a headline. Bianca Sensori wears clothing. I don't think we've said that.
But it's not
years.
clothing and looks
she looks fantastic.
So she actually modeled.
ready.
She modeled for this small clothing brand in Australia, and we obtained these photos from that shoot. She looks great. She's gorgeous. Totally knows what she's doing. Obviously, she's transformed a ton since she linked up with Kanye. These were in 2021. She hooked up with Kanye in 2023. So these are obviously a couple years before Kanye got a hold of her and made her his muse.
This is a crime. This is a crime. Kanye West is the guy who walks into the Louvre and is like, what is this thing? And walks up to the Mona Lisa and says, no, it's all wrong. I can make it better.
No, she's beautiful.
She's beautiful.
He did this to Kim, but it worked out for Kim. And Amber Rose. But especially Kim, it worked out for her.
Definitely.
But it's like,
so he just more like
it worked out for Kim.
Suggested things for her to wear, or
there's
said,
not
wear this.
not wear. I mean, that's
with Bianca. It's don't wear.
I mean, look, Bianca is beautiful no matter what, but it's cartoony.
My name's Melissa Gorecki. I'm from Long Island, New York. And first, let me just say, I'm a girl's girl. So Bianca is absolutely gorgeous. But what I'm really shocked at is that people are shocked that access to all of this unlimited wealth wouldn't change what you look like, wouldn't change how you're showing up. When you have all this access to create whatever you want, just because you don't get it, doesn't mean she's not doing it right for her.
Yeah.
That's kind of a fair point, I think.
I mean,
I'm thinking about people who suddenly becomes...
Money is not the end all in something like this.
No, but to a point, like someone who suddenly has, exorbitant wealth.
Yeah, but you're saying the exact opposite, because you're saying, why did she have to do what she did? Because you looked at these pictures.
What?
You just looked at these pictures
and
said that there was nothing
that
to
he
improve
shouldn't have
upon.
changed her.
That's right.
Right.
So why did she change?
Her point is that because suddenly Bianca had all this money.
What does money have to do with not wearing clothes? Coming up. I got a hunch.
A hunch.
I got a hunch. The Justice Department is negotiating with Ghislaine Maxwell.
And then she got moved to prison camp.
What's the next play? Is it a pardon? I think they may put her on house arrest.
Be right back.
I got a hunch.
A hunch.
I got a hunch. I cannot back this up, and we've talked about this before with Epstein, that I know people who have seen that file.
Right.
And I know that the Justice Department file is not where it's at. The real juicy stuff where people are named is in the civil lawsuits. And they have been redacted. And everybody's got their eye on the Justice Department, but it's not that file. It is the civil lawsuits where they have names of people. And I told you about one guy who went, I mean, I know the detail that he went jet skiing where a 15-year-old girl had sex with her on the island. And it's in that file. And it's redacted. So, anywho, I think the Justice Department is we know they're negotiating with Ghislaine Maxwell.
Right, and then she got moved to that
minimum security prison
camp. Yeah.
So everybody's wondering, what's the next play? Is it a pardon? I don't think it's a pardon. You know what I think this is? And again, this is just a hunch. I think they may put her on house arrest. Yeah, because if you think about it, then he can say that he still
how long is her sentence?
It was a 20-year sentence, and she served 2-3 years of it. So it's a 20-year sentence. She served 3.
So that's a way to give her something without necessarily exonerating her.
Exactly.
This might thread the needle. That's not a bad idea because it doesn't let her off the hook. She's still serving a punishment, but she gets something she doesn't have to sit in a dirty prison.
It's not bad. Yes, obviously it's great for her. House arrest for 15 years?
But it gives Trump that leverage.
I mean, usually that's like end of life when they will do that for someone.
No, that's not true. They do house arrest all the time.
For 15 years?
I get it. I know it's a long time. No.
By the way, if you're under house arrest for 15 years, you can't get your term shortened for good behavior, right?
I mean, sure, you're subject to all of
Well, in federal prison.
What's the good behavior?
No, but I know what you're saying.
Pass the butter at breakfast?
In federal prison, it's, I think it's 85%. That you have to serve 85%.
Do you think people will rake him over the coals, though, for even giving her any leniency? Because it's a big give to let someone stay at home.
He's already put her in a minimum security prison.
This was the test balloon.
And it was a test balloon.
Didn't go over well.
Why would you
Did not go over well. We all said, oh my God, why is that club fed now, this sex trafficker?
But I think there are gradations to this. And if you just go right to house arrest, if there are gradations.
It's an interesting theory. Although, why do you say he? I mean, this is the Department of Justice. It has nothing to do with the president.
Oh, of course not. He doesn't have leverage anywhere.
This is nothing to do with that.
Hey, Emiliana from Pennsylvania. You know, the stuff that Ghislaine Maxwell is involved in, giving her house arrest is insane. They should reopen Alcatraz and have her butt in there. I do not think that she should get any light treatment in this scenario at all.
I wasn't advocating it at all. I'm just saying I'm smelling it a little bit.
By the way, the reopening of Alcatraz, another smokescreen that was thrown up in the last few months.
Among many others.
Coming up.
Well, did you know Lauren Sanchez and Jeff Bezos already on the rocks?
Yes, they are. You know who else is on the rocks?
Leo DiCaprio
and Victoria Seretti.
Yeah, they're all on the rocks. There they are on the rocks.
They are happily on the rocks because those rocks are in Ibiza.
Be right back.
Well, did you know Lauren Sanchez and Jeff Bezos already on the rocks?
Yes, they are. You know who else is on the rocks?
Leo DiCaprio
and Victoria Seretti.
Yeah, they're all on the rocks. There they are on the rocks.
They are happily on the rocks because those rocks are in Ibiza.
They're on
Jeff's. Love to be on.
They're all on Bezos' boat.
Yes.
I guess it's Bezos Sanchez's boat now.
And they were heading into town or wherever for some dinner. Looks like.
I got
two
issues.
First,
I got issues.
Let's start. This is the quicker one. The Bezoses. Why is she wearing heels walking on?
Because because
what?
Because there's a photographer there.
Okay.
That's why.
All right.
Well,
that's
the
answer.
To
The bigger
dinner.
one. Huh?
They're going to dinner.
I know, but
we're just supposed to take them off.
Walk on the
but they're just going to be barefoot.
Like that, and
then that hurts.
You walk barefoot. You carry your shoes.
He should have carried her.
They're going to a restaurant. He's in jeans and she is dressed to the nines.
That's the easier one.
Okay, that's the easier
That's the easier one.
Leo
is the real.
That's the
He's
conundrum.
Just,
so what are you doing?
Look at this.
He's taken it too far with the identity. Like it's just now become like a persona for him. Yeah, exactly.
It's ridiculous.
Like we know
He's
it's
hidden
him.
his identity for so long. You're no longer hiding it with the hat and the face mask.
Exactly.
And also, you're going on a yacht with Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez with 1 million photographers. And I get it. It's what, I don't know whether it's performative or what, but it's kind of ridiculous.
What is he afraid of, though? Making a bad face?
No, what he's always said is, I want people to think of me in my acting roles, and I don't want them to see me as
his
a person.
movies. If you want to see my face,
it's like,
go
dude,
see my movies.
That's crazy.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
So it's like protesting.
It's not even a protest. It's the way he lives.
He's hiding the goods. He's like, if you want, you got to pay admission. You got to pay for a ticket.
So does he wear this with her all the time too? Like, is this just a
He
thing?
just charges her.
It's so 2020.
Gotcha.
Hi, I'm Lexi from Newfoundland, and I agree. I also think it's performative because everyone knows it's him. But now I think he's just trying to make it his own, like, signature move is to hide his entire face.
But if you want to hide, don't go on Jeff Bezos' yacht.
Wait, I have an important question. Lexi, I've always wondered, what is the weather like in Newfoundland in the summer?
Oh, good question. It's 66 and sunny today, so it's beautiful.
Oh, that sounds nice.
66.
Is that
a little
what
chilly,
season
but
are you in?
It's summer.
We're in summer, but
is it still
doesn't get
summer?
super hot.
I don't know. I mean, it's like snowing in other places.
Newfoundland is in the northern hemisphere.
I know.
Okay.
Anyway, what else do you guys want to talk about?
Hi, I'm Kate from Arizona, and we're talking about Brooke Hogan today and what she's saying that her dad's death is suspicious, and I don't find it suspicious at all. Hulk was a bodybuilder, and he did use steroids. He admitted to using steroids, and so I think it would align more with that, drug use of the steroids than anything else. I don't think anyone had any vendetta for Hulk. And so I think Brooke can rest assured. I don't think anyone would want to harm this wonderful icon from the 80s.
She feels very strongly otherwise about, she's hinted at these people, though she hasn't really named anyone.
She's insinuated
around him.
Right.
So,
one more.
Hi, I'm Haley from Washington, D.C., and I wanted to talk about the Gayle King and Donald Trump story because I think it's hilarious that Donald Trump thinks that Gayle King's career is somehow over because, if anything, her viewers hate Trump. And I think this is Trump on Truth Social from his bed, tweeting and talking about people that he wants to take off the news because I think he wants to take over all the news. And the next big media head is Gayle King.
Yeah, I mean, like she said, she is in a long line of targets there.
Coming up.
Offset had a big announcement to make and decided, I want Cardi to know what's going down. Because
on her turf.
He went on her home turf to announce his new album.
Is it shade that he's doing it in New York?
Yeah.
Be right back.
Offset had a big announcement to make and decided, I want Cardi to know what's going down. Because
on her turf.
He went on her home turf to announce his new album. It was in New York City, Times Square.
Got a big crowd.
Big crowd. I don't know how many of those people are paid to be there.
Oh, come on.
Oh, you don't think record labels do that? Or artists?
Look how happy they look.
Anyway, of course they're happy. But yeah, made the big announcement about his new album. Trent, what's the album called?
Chiari, that's his first name.
Chiari. Yeah. All right. So we just call him Chiari now?
Is it shade that he's
Offset?
Is it shade that he's doing it in New York?
Yeah, I think there's some of that. I think he wants to sort of mark his territory.
Then if he's marked
even though he's Atlanta and she's New York, so what's he doing in New York? Of course it's about Cardi.
Then check Cardi's Instagram today. I'm guessing there's going to be something.